Hi, everybody. I'd like to call this meeting to order. I'd like to welcome you to the Bridgewater Conservation Commission. Today is April 10th, 2025. We have a quorum, so we'll open the meeting, and it's now 5:30. For the record, the members and staff present: Harry Bailey, Marilyn McDonald, Eileen Prisco, Mark Peterson, Caitlin Putt, the conservation agent, and myself, Wendy Smith. I'll now read the governor's order for online meetings for the record. Disclosure pursuant to section 20 of chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. This meeting of the Conservation Commission for the town of Bridgewater will be hybrid and accessible to the public through remote participation to the greatest extent possible. There will be no public attendance permitted. Citizens who wish to tune in to the meeting may do so via Zoom. The link in the phone number, dial-in phone number, meeting ID are all located on the bridgewaterma.org website. Tonight, we have under public hearings, we have old business, notice of intent for 1010 Elm Street, map 30, lot 20. We have new business, notice of intent for 70 Riverview Drive, map 5, lot 27. We have Conservation Commission business, administrative items, Hanson Farm, conservation restriction discussion, 1731 Plymouth Street discussion, Lakeshore vegetated management plan discussion, and Hiawatha Trail replication discussion. We have no minutes to review and then an adjournment.
Madam Chair, I'm going to make a motion that we take out of order as agenda presented to have administrative items number 1, conservation business, Hanson Farm conservation restriction discussion to be moved forward for review first.
Second.
All right.
Thank you.
We have an all in favor?
Do we have an all in favor? Aye.
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 That was all.
That was all. And we have our town manager on who, after a 5.5 hour meeting, I'm sure will appreciate going first. So thank you.
You bet.
Over to me.
Who wants to lead? Who's leading the discussion on the Hanson Farm conservation restriction?
I can do that if you'd like.
All right, awesome.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Blaine.
So the conservation restriction that's before you is for Hanson, as you know, is for Hanson Farm. This is part of the process for the town to acquire the development rights for the property. And through a state MVP grant that the town was awarded late last summer. And so as part of that, the restriction needs to be negotiated and agreed to. And that is the process we've been going through that leads to the document that you have today. I don't know if attorney for the Hansons is here or not, but I can get things started and tell you. So as you probably know even better than I do, the state has a prescribed format for and requirements for a CR. And we started with that document to negotiate that with the Hansons through their legal counsel, as well as through Wildlands Trust, who is is planning to co-hold the restriction with the town of Bridgewater. We reached an agreement with the Hansons on a purchase and sale last fall, and then started on this. And this document that you have has been vetted through the state, various agencies that do that. And as late as 8:06 p.m. on Tuesday night, yes, Thursday now, isn't it? We did receive word back that they are in agreement with it. And so they are now looking to us for any final very minor edits and to get it approved on the town side so that it can be executed. Not that timing is important to the Conservation Commission, but we are working to resolve this. So ideally this month, so that we can move forward to utilize the CPC match of 1% that's required and has been agreed to by CPC and taken up by the council Tuesday night to spend about $34,000 on the co-holding of the restriction, the endowment to Wildlands Trust to have, and they'll take care of the baseline property assessment, as well as have an environmental site assessment done, which we don't anticipate finding anything, but it's a good practice to have that done when you're acquiring something like this, as well as some minor costs for legal services, for the signage that needs to go up, and so on. So I don't know how much detail you want me to go into in terms of the restriction itself, but I can tell you that, as I say, it's been negotiated with Wildlands Trust and attorney for the Hansons, and meets the requirements of the state, and it will in effect put under restriction 71.79 acres. It excludes a home, and the uses have all been vetted out by everybody and are acceptable. We did have one late change late in the process, which is that the farm wanted to be able to have a concrete pad where they could more efficiently or effectively process wood that they sell. And so I did receive a new version of this late Tuesday that did include some language changes to allow for that, that I think are fine with everybody who's been negotiating it. So I'll stop there, because I don't want to talk too much and not be able to answer your questions or whatever. So thank you.
Thank you. Where are we going from here?
Is there anybody else one day that would like to speak on this? Is there a lawyer present, as you mentioned, or his wife handle everything?
So is the lawyer present that would like to share? No?
I think their lead counsel is Rob Pellegrini, who I know from back and forth today had to be at another client tonight. I don't know if they were able to have somebody else attend in their place. I'm guessing not by the names that I see on the screen.
Okay.
Okay.
I think one of the members of the family is here. I don't know if that person wants to speak.
Okay. So is there anyone on for the family that would like to speak in respect
yeah, I
to
will.
this?
David
Okay.
David Hanson,
Address?
Pleasant Street. Go ahead, David.
Hello,
Hi.
I just want to mention that there are some sections that have to be tweaked a little bit before we get the final agreement all set. And we have not had it, but for a couple of days to even have any time to discuss it. So there will be some things that we want to address that are mentioned in the conservation restriction. Okay.
Okay. Do
Uh,
you know what off the top, do you know?
Well, I'm halfway between two jobs. I just came to check on my wife because she had cataract surgery today,
There
Oh.
goes.
and I got my employees waiting for me.
All right.
So
I have the map. I can.
we are not ready to sign it as it is right now, because we haven't had a chance to discuss it amongst ourselves yet.
Yeah, I did receive back from your counsel some edits to the address and some names of
Yeah, that's
trustees.
minor. That's minor.
Okay, well, we all just need to keep on keeping on to get this sorted out this month.
We know that. We know that.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks, David.
We will talk with Attorney Pellegrini as quickly as we can.
Wonderful.
Thank
So
you.
I was hoping to be here to tell you that we are all absolutely wrapped up, but it sounds like we have a couple things still to tweak. So, I'm glad you had it on for discussion. If you have another meeting this month or early next, perhaps
24th,
we can take
we
it up
do.
for you to recommend it to the council. Just help me understand, you need to recommend it, or do you feel you need to approve it?
That is a good question. I'm not sure.
So,
Marilyn,
Wendy,
Caitlin?
I can weigh in if you want, haven't done them in the past, and Harry
Okay.
also. So,
Sure.
once everything's in order, it's pretty much just an approval on our end. And it sounds like to me that they can come back on the 24th, like, she said, keep on keeping on, they should have everything in order. Everything, that I've looked at so far, the construction, the pad, no issues, the state's got approval. Sometimes we just say on the environmental findings, that might take longer than, their timeframe, and we just say if there's anything significant found on that, to come back and let us know, and we just readjust from there. So Harry, having done these several times with you, do you have anything else to add? We'll have the commissioners then add in from there.
No, everything looks good. It'll move along.
Okay, well, thank you for letting me know when your next meeting is. We'll definitely work really hard to have that ready for you for then. Because council meets on the 22nd, and so we'll be working that parallel process.
Right. Does anybody
I'm
else on
very
the
familiar with
commission?
that.
Oh, sorry, Marilyn.
I'm just saying, I'm very familiar with that parcel. I think a lot of us are, if not, then they can get familiar, but I think everything's in order and we should be good to go on the 24th when everybody's comments are back.
Right.
Okay.
I heard back from Wildlands Trust today that they are happy with it, so that's important.
And
Yep.
the big one is the state, so we're, so.
And I think that we just need to ask, like, Eileen or Mark, are there anything that stands out to you that you'd want to bring up at this point, or is it good? Does it look good?
I looked it all over earlier today. It looks fine to me. Looks great.
I'll take another look at it. I wouldn't know what would be bad about it, so.
Right, right.
Ms.
Okay.
Carlton Hunt, Vice Chair of the CPC. I walked the trail that goes over some wetland, water areas, that kind of thing, and I'm excited to have you guys confirm that it's good to go.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Carlton. All right. So we'll just put it on. We don't have to vote on it, right? Because it's discussion, but we'll put it on for the
It's discussion, it's
24th.
not a hearing.
Great, thank you very
We'll see
much.
You guys back on the 24th. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Blythe.
Thank you very much for letting me jump right in and get that done. Thank you.
Thank
Sure.
you, Mr.
You're
Hanson, and
welcome.
good luck to your wife.
Thank you.
All right, good night, everyone.
All right.
Good
Good night.
Night.
All right, so now we'll go back up to old business, notice of intent, 1010 Elm Street, map 30, lot 20, applicant representative is, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say the name, Kyron Naughton, C. Naughton Group, Edward Jacobs, PMP Consulting, DP file number is SE 116-1562. And I think the last time when we met, we were hoping that, they were on board, PMP, you were gonna get a third party peer review to go out and just take a look at the wetland area. So just want to know how things went with that.
Yeah, so Ed Jacobs, PMP. We did get a quote from, we picked LEC because I have I know Mark Manganello and I know he does a good job.
Yep.
And we got the quote. I was a little bit confused, I guess. My takeaway from the last meeting was that we were gonna have a peer review just to look at the restoration portion of it. That's what I got out of that, and what we got was a price for him to overlook the NOI that was submitted. All the supporting plans, supplemental documentation, and he was gonna go out and look at the line and do some corings and check for hydric soils. So I wasn't aware that that's what the peer review was gonna do. I thought it was more so that you guys felt comfortable that the restoration area was gonna be okay and be monitored.
And be monitored. Marilyn, do you remember?
Yeah, I mean, the restoration was our main thing. We definitely didn't need techno, like, stormwater review or anything, and LEC does not offer that. We were very, the engineer, our town engineer. I believe I did mention that, the line looks, okay with me, but it wouldn't hurt to have it looked at when they're out there. So I guess these are little minor things the commission can kind of weigh in on. It's probably, in my view, not a bad idea to have him look at that line while he's doing it, because that will, enhance anything with the replication, make sure that we're all in it. I think what I kind of said was collaboration would be a good thing, and I don't, I didn't see anything with the line, but that doesn't mean, as we know, like you said, Mark's very well trained out there, that he wouldn't pick anything up on the line. But we definitely didn't need a techno review. It was all wetland, line and replication kind of was what we were thought. So anybody else that was on that meeting can weigh in too. And I know you were absent on that one.
No, I was
Oh, you
here.
were back
I
on
was
the
here
second
for
one.
this meeting. I was here for this
that's right.
meeting and I watched the other one, but I made a note, we're recommending a third-party review for wetland area that is being filled or replicated.
Wendy, if I can jump in for a second, I think
Sure.
from my understanding, when we're gonna do a third-party review, when we specified, obviously the majority is due to the fact that we have a wetlands replication in an ACEC area. But I think when we go to get a third-party review, it's the NOI application as a whole is being reviewed. It's not just specific parts of it. And included in the scope of work, they do specify it's not stormwater. So I think what we were getting at was we're looking at the NOI aspect of things, but we're not including stormwater because that's already covered with our town engineer.
Okay, so after, say we agree to this, it's $4,800. And he reviews all that and everything's good. So what happens with the monitoring? Is that up to my client to find somebody to do that? Like Brad Holmes from Environmental Consulting and Restoration did all the flagging and all of that up to this point, did the wetlands report. Would he just be able to hire Brad, or is LEC going to charge us even more to do the monitoring?
Yeah. Do you want me to answer that one, Caitlin or
Yeah.
Wendy?
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
No, what we're gonna do is probably, we found 2 years doesn't really do the monitoring well on these, especially in ACEC area. All we need is a qualified personnel, like a wetland, like either your guy Brad or LEC, so that doesn't matter. The third party strictly to look at
Okay.
again with that area, but they can certainly hire who they would like to oversee that.
All right, that's what I needed cleared up. We're
All
all
right.
set. Okay,
Okay,
thanks a lot.
you got it.
All righty, bye-bye.
Bye, have a good night.
Yep, you too.
So are we're gonna continue this to the next
Okay,
meeting?
yeah.
So
Yes.
before we end this, I just want to bring up, so payment wise, we probably want to vote to open up a 53G account for this, which would have the
Is he stall or is it me?
No, she stalled.
Okay.
You said the magic word.
I'm sorry, my Zoom just shut off for a second.
Oh,
Everybody
you
hear me?
froze up.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
So, I think we need to vote for a 53G account, to make that deposit, so it goes through the town, and then the town would be taking the money,
And
that was
paying LEC.
deposited and giving that to LEC, because this is being done on behalf of the Conservation Commission.
And Caitlin, my only question to that would be, is that equivalent? Because right now in the bylaws, it says it goes to the town, but through an escrow account. So if it's apples and apples, then I don't see an issue, but I just want to make sure that regulatory wise with the bylaws that we're okay doing that vote.
Yeah, we're okay doing that.
Thank you.
Okay, so, we need a vote. Do we do an all in favor or? Like, I don't know how to do, I've never done a 53G account vote.
Yeah, this is new to me too. I kind of picked the town planner's brain about this because that's how planning board facilitates this. So I guess someone could make a motion to open up a 53G
Open.
account, and I guess maybe specify the $4,800. And once that's voted on, roll call vote, we can then have the representative send us the check. Once we get the check, deposit it in that account. We can then sign the proposal, give that back to Market LEC, and then they can start their work.
Okay.
Sounds like an escrow account anyway. Yeah.
I have a question. Can we see the proposal before agreeing to it?
It should be in the shared file.
Okay, I did see that proposal. If you scroll to the very top of that proposal, do you have it in front of you?
Yep.
What's it say at the very top?
What are you referring to? It's the header is Town of Bridgewater Conservation Commission. Notice of intent peer review 1010 Elm.
Yeah, but the quote from LEC, the proposal?
The quote?
Isn't there a proposal from LEC in the
Yeah.
documents?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Okay,
What
what
does-
does it say? What does it say at the top of that? I downloaded it today.
Do you
I
have
can-
it in front of you, Mark?
Yeah, but I'm hoping you guys, I don't want to
I don't have it open on my computer. I can't.
I have the paper in front of me.
What are you
Yeah,
looking at?
I'm just confused on what you're asking me, that's all.
Right, well, just come out with it.
Okay. All right, so I'm looking at the 410 meeting packet, right?
Okay,
And then I go into 110 Elm Street NOI, right?
yep.
And then I go down to which is the file name?
The file name is, let me open up the packet. It's the first one. It has the 24-210 NOI peer review Bridgewater.
Okay, then I open that up,
Yep,
and then do you have that open in your screen?
I'm opening it now. Yep,
Okay. Is there a date in the header?
Boy,
March 7th, 2024.
Okay.
Oh. But
It's probably a template error, clerical error again.
yeah,
so they would
maybe,
have
because
to-
my printout here says April 9th, 2025.
That's what I have too. Kate.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, so they might.
so it must have
everybody's
just
like-
been sent an error, and because I do have the April 9th.
Okay, as long as you have the April 9th,
Yep.
that's the one we'll vote on, okay.
Yeah.
I don't have the
All
April 9th one now. Can I see it?
Yeah, I could share it with you.
Okay. Can we vote on it after having some time to read it?
Mhm.
All right, so
I mean, this is a standard notice of intent review, so, as long as the direction is content on, I don't see holding a meeting up. So at this point, I'm gonna make a motion and people can weigh and make a motion to approve,
To
LEC
open.
for April 9th. One they submitted for 53G to open an account and the amount of $4,800 for the Bridgewater Conservation Commission review of I'm gonna need to see another one too. This one's now saying, the one in here is saying totally different, so I'm seeing what.
You see in Lakeshore,
That one,
Zero Lakeshore?
yeah, Yep, I just opened it, so I thought it was a typo just on the name, so can you send that and we can table that to the, unless you can get it right over to us.
Yeah, and the cost estimate might be lower. I mean that cost estimate for 4,800 is for a much larger project. If
Yep, Ed has it for
Ed
48.
has it, yes, and it's the 4,800.
Yeah, that's the one I have, April 9th, 2025.
Yep, that's the one I have in front of me.
Yeah,
So I must
Can
suggest.
you hold it up again, Caitlin? Can you just hold up the?
Yep. It's hard to see, but April 9th. And then it's the 1010 Elm. I don't know if you can see it. Hold on. Sorry.
Yep, 1010 yep, assesses map 30, plot 20, yep.
And then I'll just show you. Oh, it's just the typical, they're reviewing NOI. And then where does it say the cost? Oh, right here. Try to get it to focus. Here we go. It's over
Yeah.
here somewhere.
Oh, there it is, right there.
You got it? Okay.
4,800, LEC has prepared an estimated budget for $4,800, yep. Inclusive of any and all direct, yep, expenses, yep.
That's the one we'll use.
All right, so we have the correct name, we have the correct date, we have the correct everything, we have the correct thing. All right, so I'll make a motion, actually.
Did we get proposals from any of the other consultants on the approved list?
No, they only,
I gave them the approved list and asked them to select who they wanted, and they chose LEC.
Oh, I thought it was
And
us. I thought it was us that made the choice.
No,
No.
no. It's for us, but they get to pick out of the three.
I thought we got proposals from 3 consultants, and then we would approve whether or not they were satisfactory, and then send that off to the.
No, they already are
we give
satisfactory,
them
that's
break.
why that's why we've given them the names.
Oh, I didn't know that was the process.
we picked,
Yes,
we
it's
picked
always-
those 3. The people can choose one of those 3.
Correct.
And then they are working for us, but they're the ones paying, they get to choose. So instead of just providing one, they get 3 stop shopping and they can compare prices And sometimes you don't get one that, on Lake Shore, we only got 2 out of 3 back, so, but I'm satisfied that's the way it goes, and, as far as the proper procedure, so I'll keep this moving, we'll make a motion to approve, peer review for, April 9th that was submitted for 1010 Elm Street through LEC in the amount of $4,800, to be submitted into a 53D open through Bridgewater, and the peer review represents Bridgewater Conservation Commission.
Do we have a
Second.
second? Thank you, Harry. Roll call vote. Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
Eileen,
Aye.
Mark,
No,
and myself, Wendy, aye.
Don't we need a reason? No,
No.
Yes.
we don't need a reason? Marilyn?
They'd like us to document reasons when somebody votes no, it's up to the person. who's
That's what
voting
we've
no.
been told all along, is that we
Yeah.
have to document the reason.
the reason is it doesn't follow the same protocol that we used for Zero Lakeshore Center when we picked a consultant for that.
But it
We can
does.
pick the consultant.
It does. Well, we have majority, so
Yeah,
we
I'm
can,
not
we
gonna
have
do
roll
it.
call vote, so we're all set. Mr. Jacobs, you're all
Oh,
set.
hold on, Wendy, just have to make sure that before we, continue, that anybody have a question that's in the audience on it?
All right, thank you. You can raise your hand or use the raise your hand feature on Zoom. Please and thank you.
I am not seeing anybody, Chair.
Okay, great. So we will continue this to the next meeting. Mr. Jacobs, if you're still on.
Wait, we have to vote on it, Wendy, so I'll make a motion
Oh.
that, notice of intent 1010 Elm Street, map 30, lot 20, is continued per request of applicant to, our next meeting on April 24th.
Second.
Thank you. And roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
Eileen,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy. Aye. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ed
Aye.
Jacobs.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. All right, next up, we have new business, notice of intent, 70 Riverview Drive, map 5, lot 27. The applicant representative is David Waynat. George Collins, Collins Civil Engineering Group, DP file number is SE 116-1563. Is George, are you on?
Yes, Dave Clinner. from
Oh, Dave, hi.
Engineering Group.
Can you do me a favor? So we didn't get the notice, but I know that there was one. Caitlin found it, but I don't have it. So do you
Yes.
have the public notice? And you
Um,
do have the green cards, I believe.
I have the public notice and the green cards. They can be put up on my screen if I share them, and they will be sent out to the agent immediately. So
Okay.
I have the notice, we're under.
You have the public notice?
Yeah.
I looked, I didn't find it.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure I'm under, let me just go back, 70 River Drive, correct?
Riverview Drive, yep.
Yep, I see a legal ad.
Oh, okay. Can you read it then for the record?
Yep, I'll read it into the record. Let me just make sure this was notice of authorization, public sewer. And you have green cards, David?
I do have green cards. I have them as an Adobe on screen. I can share them with you and then send them out.
Okay, yep. All right, this legal ad, let me just make sure it was a newspaper ad. Okay, yep. So I'll read this in. Notice of public date Thursday, April 3rd, 2025. Notice content, 70 Riverview Drive, Bridgewater legal notice of public hearing, Conservation Commission, Bridgewater, Massachusetts, in accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, in the town of Bridgewater local bylaw, the Bridgewater Conservation will hold a public hearing on April 10th, 2025 for a notice of intent filed by David. One, the applicant proposes to upgrade residential septic system and expansion, repaving of driveway. The property is owned by David, am I saying the last name right? Why not? Why not? And is located at 70 Riverview Drive, Bridgewater, Mass, map 5, parcel 27. Please contact Bridgewater Conservation Office at 508-697-0950 for time and location or the link of virtual participation. All interested parties are encouraged to attend. Agenda can be found at www.bridgewater Mass at least 48 hours prior to meeting. And the ad had an approval number of 117764548. It was advertised 43. So thank you.
Great, thank you, Marilyn.
And David,
Okay.
I gave you permission to share your screen, so you're all set.
Great. All right, let's see here. I guess first pull up the green cards. Can everybody see those?
Yep.
Yep, you good.
Okay, so those,
You're
and
open.
I do believe that we received 2 more today. So I'd like to get those scanned in by the secretary and sent out tomorrow morning if possible. So I believe she gave me 2 more for the folder, which is beyond what was. Oh, actually, these are the ones that were sent. So these are all of them. These
Those
are all
are the new ones. Okay.
Yep. So I can send those out tonight as soon as the meeting is over, and you did get the advertisement.
Mhm.
So now what I'd like to do is just share my drawing here. Can everybody see the drawing?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is a septic repair. This is a septic that is in failure. The existing septic is a pit up near the front here. We did do a test pit right here, and it was unsuitable soils. That with the fact that the bottom of the pit was most likely in the water table caused a catastrophic failure. And so what we're proposing to do is place the system back here. Now, the green line is the wetland line delineated by Brook Monroe. The red line is the 25-foot buffer. The orange or gold line is the 50-foot buffer, and the purple line here is the 100-foot buffer. The system will be completely outside the 100-foot buffer. There will be an overdig that goes into the 50-foot, and we're going to put a liner, an impermeable liner around that area that cuts into the 50-foot. We're proposing erosion control starting at the street. It's this black dotted line. It'll come down along the property line, and it will go over to a shed that's inside the 50. It will continue from the other corner of the shed over to the deck and out to the house. We only need this area inside the 50 because we are going to do the overdig, and we need a machine to get around in the back there. The closest the silt fence will be to the wetland is 39 feet. This is going to be a buried system. There'll be no mounding. There'll be no mounds. It's going to have an over amount of fill on top of it, actually. And we had to ask for a waiver for that for the Board of Health. The Board of Health did issue a permit on it. Included with this NOI is expanding the driveway. The existing driveway is here with a little retaining wall. It's like a ½ foot retaining wall here that goes out to the house. We want to remove that retaining wall and add this parking right in here. This purple would be another small retaining wall, no more than a foot. If you look at this 53 here and there's a 54 here, it's going to be a foot high. And then the ground level will be covering the septic tank. We did, let me see. We did look at other areas. I mean, this area here, the underground utilities and overhead wires, and we'd still be in the 50, and we would require a pump. It would be a lot of excavation with a pump system. We found some excellent material in here. That's kind of why we put it there. It won't be a pump system, and it won't be a mounted system. Sheet flow will go exactly where it's been going in the pre-construction site. So that's about it. I can answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, thanks, Dave. I see no issues, personally. Everything is, I mean, it's just that little bit that's coming inside the 50. I like the erosion controls where you have them, to protect off towards the 25. That's good. And the retaining wall, that's fine. The new driveway piece. Marilyn?
I was actually headed out there, then got ran off to meet Caitlin, so why don't we let Caitlin weigh in on her findings, and then I'll weigh in right after that.
Yeah, so I went out to the site yesterday morning with Pete from Collins Engineering. So I walked the wetlands line and didn't have any issues with it. And then we looked at, I had them stake out the area of the tank and the leaching field and where the driveway is going to go, and they staked out the erosion control too. And I didn't have any issues. Everything looked good.
Okay, thanks, Caitlin.
I met Caitlin afterwards. I ran uptown and looked at the pictures and everything was pretty straightforward. So unfortunately, I couldn't be there on foot, but I don't have any issues with this filing.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like that's the only place that it can go, so I'm, you know,
And I believe
a
you
good
said it
job
was a
of
failed system.
keeping it back as much as you can, right? And there's nothing you can do. You gotta figure it somehow. Was that what you just said, Eileen?
Me? No,
Oh, I thought you said something.
no, I'm fine with it.
Harry?
I'm fine with it.
Okay. And Mark?
Looks good.
Sure.
Okay. Is there any abutters, that have any questions or concerns regarding this? You can raise your hand, try to get Caitlin's attention, or you can use the raise your hand feature on the Zoom.
I am not seeing anybody, Chair.
All right, thank you. With that, do we have a motion to accept the notice?
Motion to close. I would,
Oh, close, right,
Jack
right,
have the
sorry.
chair make a motion to close 70 Riverview Drive, map 5, lot 27.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote, Marilyn?
Aye.
Harry?
Aye.
Eileen?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Myself, Wendy, aye.
I then
No.
make a motion for chair to entertain approval of notice of intent 70 Riverview Drive, map 5, lot 27, standard conditions.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote, Marilyn?
Aye.
Harry?
Aye.
Eileen?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
And myself, Wendy, aye.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
You're
You're
welcome.
Thank you.
Next up, under conservation business, we have administrative items. So we've already done Hanson Farm. And we have the 1731 Plymouth Street discussion. So Caitlin, I will turn it over to you.
I will take it away.
Mhm.
So 1731 Plymouth is part of the BRS site. In receiving that previous complaint that we discussed on 1453, I believe is the main parcel, 1453 Plymouth Street. I did notice that 1731 Plymouth, which is kind of off to the side on the right, has some wetlands on it, and it looks like it was either filled in or disturbed in some way. So, and that's according to our GIS maps and Mass Mapper. So, I did do another site visit, just to talk with the owner, say, you know, here's what the maps are telling me, what they're showing me. It's a little over an acre. So he showed me the area that the wetlands are located. He said he wasn't aware that they were wetlands. So I just told him, you know, I'm gonna contact DEP since Mass Mapper is their maps. So I just want to make them aware because it is telling me it's over an acre and sometimes that kind of sets their radar off. So I actually did hear back from the state today and we talked about this and I think our best course of action right now is to go back out there with the owner, get permission just to go down and do some augering, just to see what's down there. And if we do find that the soil is wet, an indicator of wetlands, then we can go back to the state and say, okay, you know, it looks like the wetlands were disturbed and we can go from there with the state. And Marilyn, you also went out with me to that site visit, if you have anything to add.
Yeah, we went out there, Joe took us right out to the area, same thought, we couldn't really conclusively find anything, our findings were, you know, there wasn't anything that it was filled, in other words, we didn't see anything out of the norm, but we did discuss at the same time, yeah, I mean, soils would be the only way to determine anything, but we didn't really have any findings, you know, we saw nothing abnormal, nothing up, you got the uplands there, and then we were kind of like walking out going, yeah, you know, let's see what, you know, what it said, maybe it was an error of map or what, you know, or, you know, we told them that, you know, DEP would be contacted as far as, you know, the map situation, but the field observation, we didn't find anything is what I'm saying, bottom line field. At this time, we didn't find anything.
What about the augering? Who does that?
That's something we would do. So, we can get out there, look at the soils. And like I said, if we do find that it was wetlands that were disturbed, then I'll contact the state and then we can kind of hash it out from there. But where it stands now, I wanted to contact the state because while we didn't see anything and, you know, the maps aren't 100% accurate, I just wanted them to know and kind of gauge how we should navigate this. So I think the best thing to do is auger. I mean, I'm sure Joe has machines too. We could do little test pits or something, you know, just to get down. I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Marilyn, I believe Joe said nothing was filled in. It was just graded.
Yeah, no,
So
I mean-
we probably don't have to go down that far.
Yeah, and then the wood that was there was definitely not a wetland species, so, you know, and what we explained was these are tools, you know, and our field observation at the time didn't show that we saw anything, but there's other observations you can still do, so, you know, Caitlin explained it very thoroughly to the owner.
Okay.
Is the work that's being done, is that on his property or is that on Bridgewater property? Because there's some work that seems like, I'm looking at Mass Mapper, so maybe the lines are off, but it looks like some of the trucks he has is on Bridgewater's land down there where the Plymouth Street wells are. Because we have 2 water wells down there.
Gotcha. I'm not aware of that. I can look into it.
Yeah, and it seems like it's real. I don't know what jurisdiction we would have over the wells and wellhead protection zones, but
He did mention the well, if you remember, Caitlin, that was a town well that they monitor that. So I don't believe he, you know, at that point on their property, but he did, if you could recall further the conversation he told you about the well.
Yeah, he was talking about the wells. And did he may have mentioned a complaint too about trucks, neighbors calling. I don't know if that was specifically in the well area or what, but do you remember that?
No, I just know that the town is responsible, that's a town well, they're responsible for the monitoring data.
Okay.
Yeah, he knows it's there and then.
Okay.
those wells are offline because of I got high iron and high manganese, I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
Who would we bring up the you know, maybe the you know, stuff that's on the town property? Would that be would we contact someone at the Academy building or the town hall?
On the town property. So are you referring to 1719 Plymouth Street?
Let me see.
Because
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
owned
yeah.
by the water department. I did forward that to them.
Yeah.
Just saying, you know, I got a complaint and I noticed that this was encroaching on their property. The owner indicated that he has something with the water department and they're allowing him to do that, but I did forward in an email to the water department just mentioning that to them. And however they want to handle that, you know, it's their property, so I don't know where they stand with that right now.
Well, it's the town of Bridgewater. It's not the water departments.
Right. Yep.
Can we get that letter that he said he has or that agreement?
That encroachment on that? I
he
was asking for it.
he said this something.
I don't know if he has a letter, but I can ask him. Okay.
Okay,
Certainly have
so,
them come on too after we do another inspection too, so people can ask the right questions.
Can I go to that too as well?
Yeah, I can let you know when we're going out.
Okay.
if you can make it for the week after next, at the beginning of the week, I'd be around.
Okay.
I can't do next week, but the week after I should be able to.
I'll see what I can do.
All right. So that's our next step, is to go back out there. Right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
And we'll
All right.
take some soil samples and we'll take
Yep.
it from there.
All right, next up, we have Lake Shore, the vegetated management, did I say that? Vegetated management.
I get tripped up on that as well. Wendy.
Discussion, and I don't know how much of a discussion we're gonna have because Matt Johnson sent out a request to have an extension to the next meeting on April 24th because they were
Yes.
not ready yet. So that's all I know. Do we need to have any of the discussion?
I will note that Marilyn and myself went out to the site with the botanist, just to walk the site and kind of get their initial thoughts on where they were going with the vegetative management plan. So it seems like it's coming along well. Marilyn, I don't know if you want to add anything from the walk.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was good input on every level, how to make it permanent. I did not think they'd be ready to come in, because it is it's an in-depth plan that they'll have to submit. And I think, once it's in, we'll have a chance to really evaluate it, look at it, and, make sure it's a good plan that withholds, any traffic from there, stuff like that, and it has a good chance to have the best look, and actually have a eye appealing look to it too, like a nice vegetative management plan coming into that area. So I think they're on the right track. As you know, I have been very adamant about that, so I have to honestly say they're working and on the right track. So I look forward to seeing their full vegetative management plan.
Awesome.
Can we see that too at some point? Like, can it be shared to us?
They'll come in and present it when they have it, Mark. They don't have it yet.
Yeah.
All right. Last up, we have Hiawatha Trail replication discussion.
Wow, you say that so good. I never can say that.
Hiawatha.
It's a tongue twister. Yeah, so this was brought to my attention by the town engineer, Greg Tansey. He had emailed me saying he needed to go out to the site with me to get approval for see if the replication plan was done correctly. And so I had contacted him a little confused, saying I wasn't aware of a replication plan. So that got me, digging through our files, because I know we have those 3 approved NOIs for the houses over there for the subdivision. However, I couldn't find anything for the approval when the roadway went in, because that's when I was assuming a replication plan would be in place, because to put the road in, they had to cross a stream. So I can't find anything on file, I think because it was filed and approved in 2006. So I think it's too far back for our digital files. And then our paper files, I looked and, it could be over somewhere in the old town hall. I don't know, but I can't find anything in our office right now. So I looked on the registry of deeds, found the orders of conditions that were issued. That does reference the approval for the crossing of the stream, but there's no reference to replication. So I am working with Michael Koska, because he was the engineer who came up with the plans to try to resolve this. He did give me a plan that he had, but it's not dated, it's not signed or stamped or anything. So he's gonna come in with me and we're gonna kind of hash it out and see if, maybe he has the old NOI somewhere, and because the orders of conditions do reference a set of 5 plans. There's 5 pages to the plan, so I'm hoping he has that. Because again, I'm assuming this replication went along with the approval of the crossing of the stream. So I just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention, and just know that's in progress, and hopefully we can figure something out, because I don't have anything on file right now. So
Awesome. So is it on so just for the discussion purpose, is it just on because it's been brought to your attention? Is it do we need to vote on it? Is it just to do a follow-up to see that it's been done and it's taken, or?
yeah, I think it's a follow-up to see if it's taken. However, I have
don't really
nothing to
know
go
what
off
it
of,
is.
so
Right.
I just wanted to bring that up to you guys, just so you're aware. And perhaps we'll find the approved plan, and we can go from there. But I just wanted to let you guys know.
Where's Hiawatha Trail? Do you know?
Off
his
of
job?
East Street.
It's off of East Street.
Off of East Street.
Did,
Yeah.
so we have no approved plan for the entire subdivision?
No, so the orders of conditions approving putting in the roadway and crossing the
Yep.
stream. I found that at the registry of deeds, because like I said, I couldn't find anything on file here at
Yeah.
town. So I did find that was approved. I can't find anything referencing the replication that I'm
Okay.
being told is a thing. And I think it's 7,100 square feet, so it's a pretty significant area.
When was the date around of this?
The orders of conditions were issued, I believe, March 14th, 2006.
Oh, wow.
But the roadway wasn't put in until, because Marilyn, you said it kept getting extended.
It was
I think the
original-
roadway
well,
went in
this was well
2019.
before I was on there. Yeah, Harry will remember this, and probably Eileen will too. He got an order like way back in 2006. And I think when he came in, I think it was back in 2019 originally. I remember was that he kept that renewed, so he was able to use it. That's how I'm remembering it. Harry, Eileen, you were on then with me.
I
Yeah.
think I found it on the registry of deeds, actually. You look in plan search. So if you can search online. If you look at plan search, go to name, type in Costco, and then just advanced Bridgewater. And then there's 3 results, and it's the second one. And it's 5 pages.
That has the replication.
It
reference.
has a plan. I don't know if it has a
Okay.
replication on it.
Okay. I'll take a look. Yeah, I was able to find the orders. I just, the orders didn't reference the replication. So I'll take a look at that.
Sure.
All right. Okay, we're all set with that.
All right, well, stay tuned, Caitlin.
Stay
I'll keep
tuned.
digging.
I know, going to the registry of deeds, that's all fun.
I know.
Good job.
Wait, do you go there? Do you go there, or do you do it? You can do it online.
No, I just did the online search.
Oh, okay.
Oh. I thought you drove there.
God, no.
I'm old school, sorry. Okay, so next up we have minutes. We don't have any. So last but not least, it's been fun, but do we have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Yay, second.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody. Have a good night.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.